Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. Welcome to episode 56 of It All Boils Down to This. As you can see, we're back in the studio. Jack and I are ready to roll after a week of me being in Florida, Jack watching the dog up in Nashua. We got a lot going on today. The World Series ended last night. Got a big weekend of college football coming up. The NFL is halfway through the season, and there's some important things happening over in the Premier League that we will discuss eventually. Jack, just real off the top of your head, what stood out the most this week?
Well, it's just good to be back in ABC Studios. This studio will probably be used for the election on Tuesday night when they're going through the results. But yeah, no, it's been, we last did this, the World Series. We did the preview pretty much, and actually we did the Zoom call when I was dog sitting, and now that's all over. So that's pretty much what's been going on. The NFL and football, a couple games, but I've been really locked in on the Yankees losing the past week. That is true, and we were very happy at the house. Stayed up late last night. That game took forever, by the way. Yeah, it was a good game, though. But I'm not going to complain. It was a great game. It was a great watch. If you watched the Dodgers, so the Yankees melted down. That's an all-time meltdown game. That fifth inning, Judge dropping the ball, Cole not covering the base, the shortstop there, Volpe, the hometown kid making a mistake. So that was a disgrace the way they lost. I saw John Sterling. I mean, it was his last game. He was just ripping on him. Oh, really? They said he was just ripping on how amateur that loss, how bad of a loss that was. But it just showed the Dodgers were a way better baseball team. The Yankees weren't even a good team. Right. And at the end of the day, that Yankee team, like them going to the World Series and all that, like Aaron Boone will be there, Cashman, they'll keep most of their same team. They'll actually probably be worse because they're going to lose Soto. But like that masks a lot of the problems. That Yankee team's not going to win the World Series anytime soon as the way it's constructed. They just don't have it. As you had said as we were going on, they had the easiest route in. They played two teams from the NFL and the American League Central Division. They beat the Indians and they beat the Royals. So they really never were challenged. I thought they had the edge pitching wise, but obviously the Buehler, Flaherty, Yamamoto trio helped. Dodgers were better. Flaherty sucked last night. Yes, he did. Garrett Cole gave up one earned run in 12 innings. They went 0-2 in the two games he pitched. Yeah, but the one earned run was because he didn't cover first base. Well, no, the one earned run was because Aaron Judge can't literally catch a ball that, like, I don't even know. We could get anyone in this studio right now taken to the baseball field. They'd catch that ball. They probably would, but except they weren't at Yankee Stadium. Listen, I'm not going to defend Aaron Judge. He's going to make the play. I'm not going to defend Volpe. He's got to make the play. I'm not going to defend Cole's got to cover first base. If Cole covers first base, Mookie's out, and that inning's over, and nothing happens. Maybe 1 or 2 runs. The irony of the whole thing for me is the Yankees then came back and took the lead. They were up 6-5 with the lead going into the 8th inning, and the relief pitching just blew up again. Shohei gets the catcher's interference, and all sorts of weird things happen. And then a couple sacrifice flies, and now they're down by 2. And the pitching of the Dodgers, end of the ball, I really give the manager a lot of credit. He brought in his pitcher who was going to pitch, would have pitched Game 7, and the kid just was lights out. Buehler was really good. You know what? It's the Yankees. I'm glad that they lost. I hate everybody loves the Yankees. Going to hate me for this, but it was very, you're right, the better team. I thought the better team won, the deeper team won, although the Dodgers have some holes in their lineup too. No, they don't. I do. Kike, he's been annoying, but he did call out Noah Lyles last night, so I do appreciate that. Oh, he did? Yeah, he's like, world champion, suck on that, Noah Lyles. It's like, everyone hates this guy. He's the fastest man in the world. Nobody respects you or likes you. I don't know, back on Noah Lyles. Yeah, no, the Yankees, they're useless. They're just a useless team. We should talk about the fans' 15 minutes of fame are up. Yeah, that didn't. Here. He needed to win. They needed to win Game 5 for that guy to keep his thing going. We disagree on that. You act like he should go to prison for the next decade. I think just slap him on the wrist, let him back next year oning day. I didn't say go to prison. No, next year he's banned. Next year he's banned for the whole year next year. Not a lifetime. He works too hard. First of all, who gives a shit what he works too hard? Mookie said he was trying to do what he's trying to do. Although, did you see Mookie after the game, after they won with Ortiz? Yeah. And that was the closest, second time in his career he felt like fighting somebody. Did you let him finish? He ended up finishing that, and he was
won.
like, no, he ended up finishing. He was like, yeah, he was trying to help his team. So Mookie doesn't even care. So why does everyone get there? People they did an article on him. Everyone's all mad. It's like, that was funny. If you watch that play.
This is a great argument.
Wait, if you watch that play.
If I watch the play, okay,
right?
go. Yep, I'm watching.
And you didn't laugh,
yep.
Your life is miserable.
Well, I thought it was funny in the sense that the fan was completely outrageous.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen watching sports.
Okay, but what is the one thing?
You can't touch a player, sure.
Cannot touch
the guy
a player.
grabbing his wrist ruined that.
No. You cannot touch a player.
But it wasn't like he was punching him.
He grabbed his glove and tried to separate his glove open.
He tried to rip the ball out of his glove.
Of course, you can't do that.
No, you know what?
You can't do
quote,
that. I'm just saying. I would
quote
say
from whatever it is, Joey Giovanni or whatever the guy's name is, some Italian Yankee.
Yeah,
goofball. Goofball. He was trying to extend the at-bat. Whatever.
You know what? He was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. He should have gotten kicked out of the game. I agree with that. I would love to see it. Don't lose. He suspend his tickets for next year. I'm sure he's learned his lesson, but first of all, he is not the problem here. The problem is promoting that as bad behavior. Oh, this is great. All the Yankee fans love the guy. Just, Mookie had the ball taken away from him in Houston in the LCS. Back in 2018, too. Mookie was on that one. Just don't, please, dear God, you're there to watch the game. Do never, ever, ever, as a fan, put yourself into the play of the game. And he did. He touched the guy. He grabbed the guy. Not only did they try to rip it out, the other guy, if Mookie had broken his wrist, what do we do? What do you do?
I don't know. All I know is it's the first time fan interference has ever drawn attention from the media. Not like Steve Bartman or anything hasn't been talked about for the past 25 years.
It's actually the third time.
What do you mean? Do a story. It was funny. You had to do a story about that.
It's not funny, though.
It is.
I'm saying it's not funny.
I think it is.
Was Steve Bartman funny?
No.
Okay, was Jeffrey Meyer funny?
No, but
what makes this funny?
Because the dude was. Did you watch the thing when
I did watch
when
the
his
play.
face? He's got that thing on his face. He's trying to rip the blood. It's the perfect Yankee fan. It was perfect.
Right. Listen. I will give you one thing. It is the epitome of he is the Yankee fan. Right. Typical Yankee fan. What he did was absolutely off base. Should never have happened. I'm glad they threw him out. If he's. I don't know. I would take his tickets away, and I don't care. Just don't. You got to draw the line somewhere. We disagree because I think it was funny to watch in the moment.
Hilarious.
With him trying to rip
it's
the ball
hilarious.
off. It was funny for him to watch in the moment, but it's just not the way we should be doing fandom. That's all. Simple as that.
Yep, and he got kicked out of the game, and he didn't get to go to the next game. I wish I didn't send
money back.
I wish I didn't. Yeah, whatever. Because he was helping the team. He was trying to extend the at-bat. I wish I didn't send you this because you're gonna ruin this because it would be a really good joke if I didn't. But what do Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, and the Yankees have in common?
I know you sent me that. That's
dead at 27.
They both died at 27.
Oh my God!
Anytime we get a chance to rip on the Yankee fans, we do in this household.
That's
Boyle
just great.
Household.
What a Kurt Cobain.
So the Dodgers win. I just wanted to, another thing that upsets me. Not upsets me. The Dodgers spent $300 million. What am I going to say?
What are you going to do? A bullpen game?
The
or something?
bullpen game. How do we have a bullpen game?
We literally talked about this in the last podcast. What are you talking about?
Game in the World
are you
Series?
this stupid? I gave you the answer.
I
literally gave you the answer.
What was your answer?
Tyler Glasnow's hurt. Like Dustin May's hurt. Their pitchers are hurt. The reason that they won the World Series still is because they had a $300 million payroll and they could survive their players getting hurt.
But
that's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
It's
not like they just went out and were like, let's do a bullpen game.
Let's forget the Dodgers.
Like they had to. Their pitchers were hurt.
Let's forget the Dodgers. A bullpen game in the World Series. What is that? It's
Dude, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Their pitchers were hurt. If all their pitchers were healthy, there wouldn't be a bullpen game.
Okay, I agree with you that they're hurt.
What are you talking about?
Why not?
This is frustrating.
I know it's frustrating because I'm pissing you off because I wanted to.
No,
why don't they just start this Knack guy and let him go 5 innings in the game 4?
Because it's better to pitch your bull. They won.
They won. I just wanted to say,
first
if
off,
if the Red Sox got the situation and pitched a bullpen game, I would be aggravated. They wouldn't have done.
No,
I know. Give me Tyler Glasnow.
If 3 of my starting pitchers are hurt, if $60 million worth of starting pitching is hurt, and we have to throw a bullpen game, I'm not going to complain. That's how it works. Now, if we're fully healthy and we have to throw a bullpen game like the Red Sox did sometimes this year, then we have an issue.
Okay. I just think the bullpen game in the World Series is a little bit much. It is the epitome of Tampa Baying of baseball.
It's not.
It is.
No, it isn't. Their pitchers are hurt. It's not like they didn't spend money. It's not like their plan was to. It's not like they went into the season being like, if we get to the World Series, we have to do a bullpen game. It's like, no, Tyler Glasnow would have pitched that game. Okay. One of the best pitchers in baseball. Okay.
So that brings me to the next question for you about the World Series is the two managers.
I really look
Judge versus Boone versus Roberts.
I'm watching that game, okay?
Yeah.
Roberts is toast. He is toast if that didn't work out. He was toast with leaving Trennan in, however you say his name, leaving him in that long. He got very lucky, and it makes him look like a genius that he did it now. It makes him look like a genius. But I was watching that game, and I'm thinking, is this guy still in the game? How is this guy still in the game? I
agree with you, but
he's still got him in the game. I was pissed.
I agree with you, but who was he going to pitch? He's going to bring Hudson in.
I don't
who got
know.
rocked?
I guess.
I think
you're right, but
I think we said it earlier.
Well, he could have gone Buehler longer.
He could have. You're right. He could have gone Buehler longer. Buehler was
untouchable last night. He was throwing that little curveball. He's throwing 97. He had that curveball that no one could touch.
True. So. Does that mean that the managers is it just a matter of they were fortunate? Boone got fortunate in Game 3. Game 4, because of his pitchers did better, and they scored the 5 runs in like the 8th inning. And Dave Roberts gets fortunate because Trennan and Buehler were lights out. Or was there method? I thought that Roberts got lucky because he was down 5-0 and they had the bad inning. That game, they were destined to go back to Los Angeles. That game should have gone back to Los Angeles, yes or no?
Well, yeah, they were 5-0. They made errors. But the thing with Dave Roberts is we have enough of a sample size to know that these decisions, like pitching Buehler in the 9th inning, that was not his decision. That's a decision from his analytics team, higher up, Friedman, whoever. Yeah, right. Because he's been managing the Dodgers for how long? 8 years, and he's choked almost every year because he's a terrible manager. Like the difference, Boone and I think they're both horrible baseball. I think they're horrible baseball managers. I think Roberts at least can inspire his clubhouse. Aaron Boone can't inspire a fly. Right. I mean, he's useless. Right. I don't know how he's still the manager. He'll be there for another 5 more years, whatever.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
Dave
you.
Roberts is getting credit now for being like an all-time great. He's got 2 World Series. He's going to win another one. Probably win 2 more. He's a bad manager. I'll never, ever say he's a good manager. He's a bad manager. Same thing with Steve Kerr.
So that's what I was going to... Yeah, I'll tell you, third Steve Kerr. Same thing. What I would ask is about Boone. You talked
Except
earlier.
Steve Kerr didn't.
You talked about earlier.
Steve Kerr came in right away and made an impact.
Won, though.
It took Dave Roberts 8 years to win.
Right. So the Yankees.
It's like Cora came in right away and had this idea. The first year he managed, he had this Eovaldi, all these starters of the bullpen. That was his idea.
I know, that's the change.
This Buehler thing, this way he managed his team was not his idea. He would have done it 6 years ago.
Right, capitalizing on the idea, which was smart. Totally agree with you on that. You talked about Soto, probably going to go somewhere else.
Did you see his comments today?
No, what did he say?
They basically asked him, like, you like it here in New York? He's like, I'm playing for where they pay me the most. That's pretty much what he said.
You know what? God bless him.
He is Scott Boras as a player.
He is the best thing we ever heard of. That's why you're going. He's not going to be close to home in Toronto.
He's going to the Mets.
You think he goes to the Mets? Okay. Boone survives, though. You think Boone survives?
Yeah, obviously. They made the World Series. Cashman doesn't... Dude, Cashman wouldn't fire him when they would get swept out of the playoffs. Like, what do you... Cashman's not firing him.
I think that the Yankees remain the same.
At least they get the turtlenecks back. That really... The Yankees, they were wearing their big turtlenecks. So they're just like the 90s Yankees. They got all those characters.
And they brought all the guys back. And the Yankees have this little, I don't know. We'll let the Yankees go for now.
Those 90s guys can talk all the crap they want. But they won 5 World Series. Or 4 World Series, however many they won.
4.
So when they wear the turtlenecks, they have the Yankee aura, whatever it is. This team is just a bunch of fools. They're not Yankees.
Right. There's no aura names. I want to final 3 players.
There's no swagger, is what it is. They're like they got the big guys. True. There's no swagger to them.
I think you're right about that. That's something I want to bring Judge and Ohtani.
Cole has no swagger even when he's dominating.
Aaron Judge is the best hitter in the American League, best player probably in the American League, right? And Shohei is the best player in the National League. Shohei hurts his shoulder. Aaron is in a slump. But I think you're absolutely right. Even both of them. Who provides the swagger for both teams? It's the 2 best players. Judge could be, maybe it's his personality, but Judge could be the swagger that they need, and Ohtani could know. I think Ohtani being hurt didn't help, but look at, they never mentioned Mookie, they never mentioned Freddie Freeman, they never mentioned Gavin Lux or whoever the guys are that are Enrique Hernandez, who we both hate. But is the Yankee problem that they just have a bunch of, their hair's cut right, you can only have a mustache, you can't be bad boys. You can't be idiots. What's the
No,
problem?
the more and more I think about the swagger comment I just made is I say it all the time. That stems from one person, and you can't resurrect people from the dead. So
Right.
unless George Steinbrenner walks out of his grave and gets back up there, and winning is the only thing that matters in that organization, like they'll never get that swagger back. So
Well,
that's
first of
over.
all, the
that
swag-
all came
Right.
from him.
The-
That was him. It
right,
wasn't. The
right.
more I think about it, it wasn't Jeter. It wasn't
No,
Posada.
I know what
it
it
wasn't Pettit. It was Steinbrenner.
But it started with Reggie Jackson
Okay.
and Billy Martin, and that was
Well,
that
that's
was
I'm
Steinbrenner.
not
But that's so
talking
long
about that
ago.
era of
That's
the
so-
Yankees. I was
that's so
talking about the
long ago.
90s.
You're right.
and
You're right.
that.
That's right. You're right. But I agree with you on that. So Ohtani, I just want to mention Freddie Freeman. Okay, he
Yeah,
was hurt, played
fantastic.
hurt,
Wow.
and he won.
Well, they have
Good
the they have the murderers row of their 3 Hall of Famers that you have to get to. Like I said, when they were down a run last night after they did make the comeback, they were down 6-5.
Right, they were
and
short of run.
Shohei has the catcher's interference. Bases are loaded. Mook one out. Their bases are loaded. 0 outs. Mookie sac fly. Runner scores. Second base guy gets the third because he
Right.
hits it so deep. Next at bat, Freeman sac fly. So 2 Hall of Famers doing their job, winning them the game. That's just, I mean, to get through that part of, and then Hernandez comes up next. Teoscar Hernandez. It's like it's a
Right.
tough lineup to
Right.
pitch to, especially with those hitters. Mookie and Freeman especially are just gonna kill you,
Well,
make
there
you
was,
work.
there was. You're right. There was one instance where they got first to third a couple times. They got the runner got from first to third or second to third when he needed to with less than 2 outs, and they scored.
Yep.
Absolutely right. I think the Dodgers, like I said, they won 4-1. Of course, they deserved to win it. And I think Freddie Freeman showed off with his 6 straight home runs in World Series play, or 7, whatever it
It was
ended up being.
6.
He did a great job, and he deserved the MVP.
And the one thing, another thing, like just an underrated part of the series is Mookie's outfield defense,
Yeah.
his
Oh,
right
yeah.
field
Oh, yeah.
defense,
Yeah.
his
Oh, yeah.
ability
Oh, yeah.
to keep to turn doubles into singles as a right fielder is second to anyone in the league right now. He's the best defensive player in the league. He's the best defensive outfielder in the league, I think.
Yeah, and
I don't think there's anyone close.
The other thing I want to bring
Maybe
up
a center fielder. Okay, corner outfielder. He's the best corner outfielder in the league by far. No,
before we switch over to the NFL, one thing you said, I think it was last night in the game, you said, look at how this doesn't happen in high school ever. Everybody's lined up perfectly. Everybody fundamentally, the Dodgers were in the right place at the right time, and then the 5th inning happens, and they don't cover first base. And it was just amazing how, you're right, Mookie saved, they said Mookie saved like 15 bases during the series,
Yeah,
which is a big deal. You know, that won't ever show up on defensive runs saved or all the other metrics. But the eye test is he was phenomenal in the outfield. He saved them probably saved them 2 or 3 runs as well. But the fundamentals, except for that one inning.
Especially in a stadium like Yankee Stadium, it is almost impossible to hit a ball to right field at Yankee Stadium on Mookie Betts, unless you hit it really in the gap where it's super deep. If you hit it to the right of Mookie Betts at Yankee Stadium or over his head, it's almost impossible to get a double because how short it is and how he's just going to get the ball quick. He's got a great arm. He's ridiculous. And
Right.
it's the stuff I always said about Mookie. He's the best right fielder in the history of baseball, better than Clemente, and he's the best at getting from first to third on the base paths on singles in MLB history. Those are 2 like things you wouldn't. They're not home runs. They're not sexy
Things you don't
stuff like
see.
that.
Right.
But those are 2 things that makes him the best player that the Red Sox have developed since Ted Williams.
Those are things that you're right. Those are things you don't see. You're absolutely right. And I think he's the
Well,
third.
you see him, but they don't
he's
get
the
as much
third
attention.
cog in that wheel. He's Shohei's 1, Freeman's 2. They don't ever.
I think
How
he's
many
underrated.
times did they talk about Mookie Betts? Except
A
when
lot.
the guy
No,
tried
they
to
talked
rip him?
about Mookie a
They
lot.
did.
He's like I said. I don't know.
He's
It's hard to talk about Mookie. He's the only active player with more than 2 World Series.
Right.
It's just
he
it's tough.
really? Is that
yeah,
true?
No one else has more than 2
Oh, that's amazing.
besides him.
So Xander win with Dan.
Well, he has 2.5, but that's still more
Xander
than 2.
with San Diego, and he'll be another one. That's the way life works for Red Sox fans. But there was we watched the comeback, which was the 2004 thing, and there was in 2003 the play that I thought that Trot Nixon could have made that we watched Mookie didn't make it. Mookie would have made the play. Remember the ball got over his head?
Yeah.
So we'll finish off the baseball season, the 2024 baseball season. Congratulations to the Dodgers. Hopefully our Red Sox get off the schneid. Good to see the Yankees lose. My favorite part of the whole night, last out of the game, Verdugo strikes out looking like a bum. He won't be back in New York. Maybe he'll get exiled out to like Arizona or Colorado or somewhere where we don't have to deal with that bum anymore. But that's the baseball season wrapped up. Congratulations to the Dodgers. We won't talk any baseball till we get free agents, people, Red Sox signing stuff. Transitioning to the Patriots and the NFL. Your boy the Drake got concussed.
Yeah, it's like Thursday. Who'd they even play last
They
week?
played the Jets.
Oh yeah, they won. Oh my God, Aaron Rodgers. Whew.
Oh,
boy, he should have ran for president or something. Like this is bad. I feel you almost feel bad for Jets fans, but Jets fans are useless. Yeah, the Drake getting hurt, that's bad, but what a win by the Pats.
yeah. And who led them to the victory? Who was the cog?
You're going to say
Jacoby
Jacoby
Brissett.
Brissett, but like I don't know, sure.
So the Pats win. Drake May not money.
There's not much to say. The Pats, especially when Drake May gets taken out of the game. Like, why am I watching?
I'm going to go to your favorite subject.
They traded Josh Uche to the Chiefs.
Good transition. Chiefs. We'll talk about them. The only undefeated team left.
Yeah.
Right. Their offense is not the greatest right now. What do the Chiefs need to continue the run that they're on to get to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Just more of the same. Look, again, when their defense, when Mahomes can turn the ball over on the 3-yard line, they give up no points. When they can start 2 drives in the red zone, the other team back to back, and only get 3 points, it's like you're going to have a chance to win every football game. And you add a quarterback so after he turned the ball over, yep. I saw this. After he turned the ball over and they started the ball with the ball on the 3-yard line, and they went 4 downs and didn't get it, and they got stuffed on the goal line, right? I think I saw something right after that. Mahomes got the ball on like the 3-yard line. He went on a 17-play, like 9-minute drive. Right. So it's like, even if he's playing crap, he still has the ability to do that and just suffocate you and put you to sleep. And that's what they're doing.
So Patrick Mahomes is our
Their defense is so good. I think their defense is at a point, it's underrated. It's an all-time good defense. It really is. It really is, and they're going to win the Super Bowl because of it. Right. He is playing like the 20th best quarterback in the league right now. And
yes, that's true.
They're not even getting, like, they're 7-0.
Right. So I just wrote down I talk about parity. We'll skip that, but the top contenders in each league. I think that the AFC is tougher than the NFC. So he's got a little bigger hill to climb. He's got the Bills, he's got the Ravens, he's got the Texans, the Steelers, possibly even nobody really else. That's it. It's the top of the AFC is so much stronger, I think, than the top of the NFC. So which of those teams, you talked about this, if you don't get the bye, because Houston might get the bye, who do they want to avoid?
Who's getting the bye?
Houston right now would get, if they lost 2 or 3 games, they would get the bye. That's wrong. The Chiefs would,
the Chiefs are getting the bye.
Chiefs get the bye, but who do they want to play in the next round?
What are my options?
I'm sorry, I got all.
What are my 3 options? The Texans, the Ravens, and the Bills. I'd say the Texans.
Texans first.
Well, Diggs tore his ACL, didn't he?
Right,
so I'd say the Texans for sure.
And then who do you fear the most? Bills
Probably the Ravens. I just think the Ravens are the best team. The Ravens almost beat them in the regular season at Arrowhead. Yeah, the Ravens.
And the
Ravens should have won that game last year. It's like, if Lamar just has his head screwed on and, like they said, doesn't try and be Dan Marino and tries to be Lamar. Because, like, last time in the AFC Championship game last year, he tried to be Dan Marino. He's like, I got to throw the ball. I got to beat him with my arm. If he just is Lamar, they can definitely beat the Chiefs. I think they're the team that can beat them, yeah.
Okay, that's good. AFC is going to be tougher. NFC, the Lions playing really
look
well.
Great, don't they? Yeah.
So, and I know you love Dan Campbell.
Well, yeah, I mean, the offensive coordinator is really good, but yeah, no, Dan Campbell I'll never trust. So yeah, I don't know. Their offense looks tough to beat right now, but I don't know enough about who's going to come out of the NFC. I'm not the Eagles. How about them? They look good the other day.
Good, right?
I don't know.
What about the Cowboys situation?
Useless. Their coach is we all knew that their coach is useless. I'm even out on Dak. Like, he doesn't even look good. Their owner's an idiot. What are you going to do? The Cowboys? I don't want to talk about the Cowboys.
How about the 49ers, where they stand? If McCaffrey comes back, do you think they're tough? Or
I guess they got to get healthy. We'll see what happens with them. They have to get healthy. I can't make a judgment on them unless I know whether they're going to be healthy or not.
So what's your level of interest right now as we get into this?
Well, didn't Ayuk tear his ACL? That's not good for them. Ayuk tore his ACL. That's not good. He held out, got his contract, came back, tore his ACL.
So the question for you is, as we get into this is the first week of November, what's your level of interest right now in the NFL?
I just care about the Chiefs.
That's it.
Yeah, I watch all the Chiefs games full, and I watch Drake May if he plays. That's it. I don't care at all. And I watch the Manning cast if the Celtics aren't on.
Everybody loves the Manning cast, right?
Yeah, we don't even really. This is just what is it? Week 8, week 9. We don't need to talk about the NFL much more. We can get on. We have more topics. It's we're getting
briefly go.
I don't even want to talk about the NFL
because the Drake got hurt. I decided to bring in the.
Well, I mean, you have to talk about the NFL every week, but we can go through it quick.
All right, so
Jameis, I love Jameis Winston.
I forgot about
Oh my God,
Winston. Good job.
God took the wheel in that game, and oof, that was brilliant. I just love seeing Jameis be happy, and it's just good seeing him get interviewed.
The funny thing about Jameis,
he's a soundbite waiting to happen.
The funny thing about Jameis in that game was he threw like 2 picks that should have.
But that's Jameis.
Should have been picked.
That's Jameis.
It's amazing.
I mean, Jameis is the king.
With him.
Jameis is the king of 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. That's who he is.
And he probably should have had like 35 interceptions that year because everyone drops the football. So Jameis Winston, God bless him, Cleveland Browns. He's better than Watson. They probably should have played him the whole year anyway. So there we go. Transition college football. A lot going on. There's a lot of big games coming up. Like we talked about the Big Ten. We talked about the SEC eating their own. This one last week, Notre Dame crushing Navy too. I wanted to mention that as well.
It was so long ago. We're doing this on Thursday. I forget last week. What were the big games?
Well, I got on the big games. The big games I've got Notre Dame crushing Navy, Bama shot at Mississippi, Texas A&M with a big win over LSU down there. Texas with a squeaker getting by, and a few other odds and ends, but a lot of buys last week.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, it's doing this on Thursday, and I don't remember anything from last week. I watched the Nebraska game. They had a lead at Ohio State in the fourth quarter, and then Ohio State just was like, all right, we're gonna win this game now. I'm looking forward to next week. Obviously, I really care about this Ohio State Penn State game.
I'm
rooting for Penn State. Rob should be going to the game. He's not. It's the biggest Penn State game in a long time. I think Penn State wins. That's my lock of the week. +3. I'm going +3 Penn State at home. I wish it was at night. Big noon kickoff sucks. I have to listen to Gus Johnson again.
I just think the only issue with Penn State is the quarterback situation. If Allard can't play, can't go. He's been hurt. Plus, Allard's been hurt.
Okay, if Allard is hurt, I get a different lock because that's not fair.
Allard's been out.
Okay, let me get a backup lock.
Jack's going to look at the lock. You're throwing Penn State, Ohio State.
Okay, no. My backup lock is Indiana on the road. They're 8-point favorites at Michigan State. I think Indiana's like ridiculous.
Indiana on the road, 8-point favorites, Michigan State. I'll write that.
But that is only if Allard doesn't play.
Okay, but if Allard plays, you're still taking Penn State.
Yes.
Penn State, it's a noon kickoff, too. It's kind of weird.
That's what I said. It's stupid. Well, because it's because of Fox and big noon kickoff that this game should be under the lights.
It should be under the lights.
110,000 people, whiteout. Like, it's the most simple, obvious thing ever, yet we're playing it at noon with Gus Johnson.
The funny part about that game, I'm not sold on either of those teams. I don't think either of those teams can win the
I don't know how, after what I saw with Ohio State, the way they struggled against Nebraska, I'm there. I think Indiana plays Ohio State next week. Indiana could beat them.
So again, in the Big Ten, we've got Indiana, we've got Oregon, we've got Ohio State, we've got Penn State, and that's really it, right? Those four. One of those four will make it through. I'm not sold on Indiana yet.
Because they really haven't played a massive team. It's the Ohio State game.
I'm still going to be sold on Oregon, and then I think the Ohio State Penn State game, whoever loses that game is out, completely out. Because they won't get to the championship. No, they're out.
Penn State would have one loss. If Penn State has one loss, they're going to make the college football a 12-team playoff.
Well, if they have one loss, they don't make it. If they don't make the conference championship, how are they going to take?
What are you talking about? There's going to be more than 2 teams that make it from the Big Ten.
3, I'm saying, right?
Okay, then why wouldn't it be Penn State? No, it'd be 3 or 4. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I think Ohio. I'm going to.
This is not an elimination game. What he just said is very incorrect.
Well, for Ohio State, it's an elimination game. Unless they win the Big Ten. If Ohio State loses this game,
would this be Ohio State's second loss?
Right?
No, not an elimination game.
I think because they can't. The only way Ohio State makes it, they win the championship.
If they smoke Indiana and Michigan, they'll make it with 2 losses. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we'll see.
Disclaimer to the camera. My camera right here. What he just said is wrong.
Right there's your camera.
What he said is wrong. That was wrong. Because if this were a 14 playoff, it'd be an elimination game. 2-team playoff elimination game. No, they're still alive if either team loses.
Okay, I got you. That's good. I still think it's an elimination game.
Now, A&M playing LSU probably was an elimination game.
Yeah, definitely. But again, how the season plays out, it's a huge game in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
So that's one big game. I look at my list of other big games. Oregon goes to Michigan, or plays Michigan. I think Oregon destroys Michigan.
Yeah, everyone does. Everyone knows they're going to.
You think Oregon destroys Michigan?
Michigan can't score. They have no offense.
It's just so funny. There's not a lot of really great games this week.
There's
Tennessee plays Kentucky, which is probably meaningless, but it's a big rivalry game. Pitt's at SMU.
Tennessee's good.
Pitt and SMU are both undefeated in the ACC. SMU coming over from the American. Pitt's really good.
Wow.
Pitt could.
I still like Clemson. We all know that.
You like Clemson. I still like Miami in the ACC. Texas A&M and South Carolina. I think right now, Texas A&M. That's my pick. My pick this week is Texas A&M minus. I think it was 2.5 last week. I think it's 3.5 today. We'll figure that out which way we're going to go. I like Texas A&M going into South Carolina. Texas A&M since their loss early to Notre Dame just has been dominating. Chance to make the SEC championship. Chance to make the tournament. I don't think they can win, but their quarterback has been phenomenal for them. And I'm going to stick. Right now. I'm going to go Texas A&M.
Was it the backup quarterback? Kevin said the backup quarterback came in and he's way better than the Wegman guy.
Both quarterbacks,
whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I don't think he is that good.
Well,
and then shout out Jay Trev dunking on me about the LSU quarterback who I think stinks. Who people are saying it's like a first-round pick. He dunked on me at halftime because he's having a great half. He threw like three second half interceptions. So screw you, Jay Trev.
Oh, come on. Let's let Jay Trev alone. He liked J.J. McCarthy.
He's the new
And who else
McCarthy.
did
This
he
kid.
he liked J.J. McCarthy. What else? Bo Nix, yes or no on him? He was no. And he was a no on
Jaden Daniels.
No, Oh, that was huge. Jaden Daniels, right? Yeah. All right. The final game I have listed out here in college football is Georgia, Florida, which is the largest cocktail party they call it. It's the last time for 2 years they'll be playing in Jacksonville because Jacksonville's going to renew their stadium, which my nephew Jeff works there at the stadium security. Georgia should dominate this game, but because it's this classic kind of game, it's a trap game, I think, for them. But Georgia might be the best team in the country.
Georgia wins by 30.
You think
Florida
so?
sucks, and I think Georgia's real good. So, yeah, Georgia wins by 30.
All right, I got on my list for recap because this is week 10 of our picks challenge. Week 10. See if I have this right.
Well, we all lost last week. Kevin had the same lock as me. We both picked Illinois. They got
let
killed.
me ask. I have Jim, which is me, at 7-2.
Yep.
I have Jack and Chris at 6-3 because Chris lost both games last week. Chris lost Kansas and Kansas State and Eastern Michigan and whoever the hell he picked. Stay away from the MAC games, Chris. And our buddy Kevin, who hasn't texted his pick into yet, but we'll get that on before we go. Kevin is 0-8-1. He did push a game. All right, so Kevin's completely eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah, no.
It's down to you, me, and Chris. And I'm going to go, like I said, Texas A&M -2.5 against South Carolina. Chris has got UNC. This is actually a good pick. I like. Chris sometimes comes with these great picks. Chris is going to go UNC -2.5 at Florida State. I don't know how good UNC is, but
all depends on what time that game's at. If it's a night game, that won't cover. If it's not a night game, that will.
I think that UNC is playing to keep Mac Brown's job. By the way, do we get to hear from Kevin yet?
No.
So if what we'll do is, Jack, if Kevin ever gets to us, always pick opposite of Kevin.
That game's at 3:30. That Florida. So I like that pick by Chris.
Always pick opposite of Kevin because he is 0-8-1 against the spread. So that's what we got for this coming week. Any other college football tidbits? What are you going to watch? You going to watch the big
Penn State. I'll watch Penn State, of course. That's all I care about at noon, and then after that, am I going to even watch anything? Let's see. We have. I got to see what game I'm watching after. Blah, blah, blah. 12 o'clock. Ooh, Illinois. Oregon. Maybe I'll tune into Oregon, Michigan, Florida, Georgia a little bit, but no, 3:30. I won't. Oh, my lock, my backup lock technically could be at 3:30, the Indiana, Michigan State, but I have to put Peacock on to watch that game. That's not going to happen.
Oh, Jack's lazy with Peacock.
And then Texas A&M, South Carolina, I'll watch a little bit at night. Clemson, Louisville, I like Clemson.
Louisville's terrible.
Yeah, no, I really. Oh, Pitt, SMU. You know what? I don't care. I'll watch Penn State, and that's it. That's what I care
There
about.
is good news this weekend in the college football world. You know what that is?
A Temple something.
Temple's got a bye.
Huh?
Temple cannot lose this week. What happened last week down in East Carolina where they got absolutely positively trashed by a team they should have not beaten but stay with? I will say it again on the air here. Football season is basically over. They've won the 2 games. They should have one more win if they get lucky. I'm on the fire Stan Drayton train. I mean, nobody on my podcast probably cares unless my Temple friends listen to me, and I'm sure they're not. So it's been a long year. Basketball season starts on Monday. They play Sacred Heart. I forget who they play, some weird team. And they're ready to go with Coach Fisher. We are hopefully, if you're out there.
Their starting point guard suspended.
And you're out there, that doesn't matter. They got Jamal.
It doesn't matter.
They're playing Sacred Heart. So if you're out there in the Boston area, Temple plays at BC on November 15th. Hopefully there's no Bloomington High School football game trying to win their first game. But I think I'm going to go. Chris and Kevin, you should join us. We got a little tailgate in a Brighton bar. I'm going to send you guys a note. Sign up and go. If you got there, get a chance, go to Conti Forum and see Temple play BC. That's on November 15th. So that's really it for my college world. Jack, we had a nightmare last night happen. Your 82-0 Celtics.
I didn't say that.
That
was Coward said that. That idiot Coward who went on this couch. He said 82-0, not me.
So our friends,
I said franchise record.
Our friends. Okay, so what? It was tough to watch. And the funny part about last night, we actually turned the game off. We did. We went both games because the Dodgers were up down 5-0, and the Celtics were down like 24. We turned it off. Jack comes up and says they're down 3 with a minute to play. So as the Celtics come back, so were the Dodgers. Nice comeback, but what do you see? There's some there's some issues that need to be worked
Well,
on.
it's an NBA regular season game. Just Tatum and Brown should never take 28 threes. Their best basketball is when they're attacking the hoop and driving and kicking and getting their mismatches and swinging the ball, and then maybe the ball comes back to them and get their open threes. But them just taking 28 threes off, basically almost all of them off the dribble, is just ridiculous. And hopefully they do something about that. That's all I'll say from last night. Good thing they came back. The Pacers, I mean, they have this like mental block of beating the Celtics. Good for them for beating them in the overtime.
That's true. They do.
But my God, dude, Tatum, enough with the. I know you made a couple in the first few games. Your best basketball is when you are going to the hoop and making reads. We can't be stopped. We would go 82-0. And Jalen, I mean, come on, just lock in. It was those two lost them the game last night. I really think they did.
82-0 is never happening because it'll never happen. I think 62-63 is probably legit.
They won more than that last year.
But this last year,
they're way better than they were last year.
I think what you saw last night, to me, what we saw last night, they might be better than last year. I think they're a great basketball team.
They also
I think they're really
benched two of their best players just so Pritchard could get clutch minutes.
I think last night was pretty simple. You know, it is a long season in the NBA. They're on the road for the second day and 2 days, and they played Milwaukee the 2 nights before, which is more of a rival to them than anything. Huh?
They were at home against Milwaukee.
But they played Milwaukee, right?
Okay, yeah.
But then they had to go on the road, and you have these games where the energy's not there, and I don't. You could be Red Auerbach, and you're still not going to get.
They didn't shoot well, but like Tatum and Brown were only 6 for 28 from three. It's a choice. It's a choice. They don't have to take that many threes. The two of them. I'm fine with them taking a million threes a game, but it's the way you get them, like we did against the Knicks.
And again, it is a regular season game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It takes them 4-1. They're really good. I think they dominate through. Porzingis looks like he's healthy. I think now it's how do you manage minutes to get the playoffs. Yeah. I don't know if there's any team that can stay with them if not even if they're hot, if they're mediocre, because they proved last night.
You know who's hot right now?
Who's hot?
I'm about to have a heat stroke in this studio. So like, wow,
Jack's hot.
It is. I'm wearing a T-shirt next time. Remember this. If you do come to the studio, whoo.
Well, the fact that it's October 31st, it's Halloween, and it's 80 degrees outside should have something to do with it.
That's true, but doesn't like ABC? Don't they keep their studios real cold?
Yeah, they do. But we're just WCTV. We're not ABC.
We're getting there.
Can't complain about that. Before we leave, there was exciting news in the Manchester United world. They're probably getting a new coach. Or is that done? And
it's done. We're getting Ruben Amorim, Portuguese guy from Sporting. We fired Ten Hag. I quit on Ten Hag. I know I've defended Ten Hag. I was saying get healthy. We've been healthy. It's not working. It had ran its course. And again, I have no bad words to say about him. I'm not gonna trash him on the way out. Just didn't work out. I feel bad for the guy. But again, there's nothing in soccer like that new manager bounce. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for this guy to get here. We're gonna sign him. The rumor is now we're gonna let him stay on a little bit longer at Sporting. They're playing Man City coming up, so we're gonna let him play against Man City, beat Man City for us. And then he's supposed to join us. His first game, they're saying, is going to be against Ipswich.
What is it?
Ipswich, which is a Premier League team, on the road. That would be his first game, November. I think they said 24th. His second game is supposed to be the Europa League game at home, but we're supposed to be at his first home Premier League game. Okay. So I thought there was a chance we were going to be at his first actual home game. We're going to be at his second, so that's kind of sucks. I would like to be at his first game, but we are at his first like real big game. So that'll be a good experience for us to be at that stadium. There'll be a buzz in that stadium that there wasn't.
So you're
if he wasn't there.
What's Old Trafford seat? 70,000?
70, 80, yeah.
78,000. We're going to be with 70, 80,000 crazy Manchester United fans with the new coach.
We're all in. We're all in on this guy. Oh my God.
Well, like I said, maybe that night when we get back to the hotel, we'll do a quick podcast for everybody about what my experience is. I'm looking forward to going to there. I enjoy seeing different places, and so in my second Premier League game, I saw them play at Southampton. But it's funny how you did quit real quick on him. You dropped off real quick this year.
What do you mean? I did not drop off real quick.
You hated him.
Dude, I was one of the last people. I was one of the last people. You're accusing me of dropping off quick? Are you? That's I might walk off the podcast. That's the most insulting thing I've ever heard. Are you? No, I'm being serious. You think I dropped off quick?
No, it was a quick decline.
No. It was.
That's what I mean. I don't mean quick.
No,
I mean it was a quick.
It was the longest decline ever. We sucked for 365 days.
But you loved him, and then all of a sudden, what happened? Something happened in that Europa League game.
It was over. I knew when I knew it was over. It was.
Europa League.
I give myself credit because when I finally said it's over, he has to be fired. The board. It's pretty much like the board listened to me because a week later he was gone. So if you want any opinion, no one is more seasoned in manager sackings than me.
Jack
So
is
if you want an
seasoned in
opinion on your
Seasoned
manager
Jack.
and if he's going to get sacked and when and if it needs to happen, come to me. I know all. I am the guru of manager
Maybe
sackings.
Quick wasn't. I think it just happened.
I spent all last year. Everyone quit on him last
I agree
year.
with you. But it was sort of like that Uribe game last week happened and they won, right?
No, we tied. He played tied, and then he came out talking about how it was a good result.
And then all of a sudden, like, it snapped, boom, you were done with him, right?
Yeah, it was over.
Okay.
There was
I
no
got
coming
you on
back from
that.
that. Then playing
I got that by
Mazraoui
quick.
at 10. What also happened, he played Mazraoui at 10. Mazraoui told, that's why this Mazraoui guy, I think he's good. If we just get rid of him, I'm fine. Because Mazraoui told a player on Fenerbahce that was going to happen. He literally told his teammate, two Moroccan guys, told Amrabat, who played for us last year, that he was going to play like this. Amrabat told Mourinho. Mourinho basically admitted, he's like, one of my players told me this was going to happen. I knew it. So that's unforgivable. If you got guys in your locker room giving out like what you're going to do, that's bad. So that it was over.
Okay, so we know we're going to ManU right at the Friday after Thanksgiving. We fly over there. We got a game to see on Sunday. It'll be the second home game, third game he's managed. We need to see how the buzz is. If they're hopefully they'll be playing well by then too.
Hopefully, you have a chant for him.
Yeah, they probably will. The other thing I want to do is give a shout out to, we've got Wilmington High School athletics. It's been a tough fall season for most of our teams, and I do have to shout out the girls soccer team clinched and won the Freedom Division Soccer Championships. We do have one title this fall. I've had some students in this studio on my Wildcat Sports Update. The girls and boys cross country teams are trying to make to all states. We'll know about that in about 2 weeks as well. So shout out to my friends. The girls soccer team, Wilmington High School, Senior Abanez, the coach, and all the players. It's a great accomplishment when you do win the Freedom Division. So that's really about all I have. Jack, what else? What do you want to finish up with here?
I could complain about Premier League referees, but that's useless. It's not even worth it. I got nothing to finish up with. Go Penn State. Go Celtics. Go Chiefs. Go Drake. What else do we get? Oh, tennis.
I forgot tennis.
I found out there's an ATP. There's an ATP. I don't even know what that means. Like the tennis tour, like the PGA.
Jack, Association of Tennis Professionals.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like the PGA Tour or whatever, the MLB.
Yeah, same thing.
They have like a playoffs or something. So like I'll be in that. They have like a championship tournament. So let's win that. That's what we're going for next.
All right, so let's go for Alcaraz in the All ATP Championship Tournament. Like I said, a lot going on. We'll be back next week, hopefully with some really fun Penn State, Ohio State talk. We'll have to trash talk my nephew, Rob, who's a big Penn State alum, loves his Penn State Nittany Lions, and he's not going to the game probably because he probably couldn't get tickets because it's tough to get a ticket for a 110,000-seat stadium. So again, episode 56 is concluded. We thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Boyle. He's Jack Boyle. We're yawning away. And for It All Boils Down to This, we'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This, recorded at WCTV studios in our hometown of Wilmington, Massachusetts. We are always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.